everyone, my name is Ashvini, and today I will be talking to you about the investigation of prosthetic rehabilitation outcomes following a lower limb amputation in the oldest old. About 7,405 new lower limb amputations are performed each year in Canada. Majority of these are performed in people aged 60 and older, primarily due to the prevalence of diseases such as diabetes and peripheral vascular disease, because these contribute to majority of lower limb amputations. While prosthetic rehabilitation can maximize independence, quality of life, and improve functional mobility by teaching people how to walk with the prosthesis, it can be complicated by the presence of multiple comorbidities and other age-related issues evident in older age groups. These complexities will become more apparent as the number of absolute lower limb amputations is expected to rise within the oldest old, or those aged 80 and over. This can be attributed to a few different things. First, we have the global phenomenon of population aging, in which people are living longer into later stages of life. The rates of diabetes and peripheral vascular disease are also increasing. Despite this trend, prosthetic rehabilitation outcomes for the oldest old are largely unknown. Without understanding what these are, our healthcare system will have a very difficult time adjusting to caring for a demographic that experiences multiple and complex health-related challenges. Therefore, to comprehensively assess this issue, there are two main objectives for this study. The first is to describe changes in participant characteristics at admission and discharge for prosthetic rehabilitation over the past 7 years, in order to see how the demographic has changed. We expect that participants are getting older over time, with primary etiology being diabetes and/or peripheral vascular disease. The second objective is to compare rehabilitation outcomes specifically at discharge across various age groups, and we expect that the oldest old will perform similar to younger age groups. This study will be done as a retrospective chart audit outlining consecutive admissions to the inpatient prosthetic rehabilitation program at Parkwood Institute. Demographic and clinical information of all clinical admissions and discharges per year will be extracted. In terms of inclusion criteria, participants must be admitted to the program from January 2012 to December 2019. They must be 18 years of age or older and have a major lower limb amputation at the transtibial level or above. Outcome measures are important in order to assess the effect of a program or intervention. We're specifically interested in evaluating endurance and functional mobility, which will be measured through the L test, 2-minute walk test, and 6-minute walk test. These tests involve asking participants to walk a specified pathway, and an example is shown here for the L test. We're also interested in assessing concern of falling, which will be measured through the Activity-Specific Balance Confidence Scale, which is a self-report measure. The data will be analyzed in different ways according to the two objectives. For the first objective, descriptive statistics will summarize the demographic, clinical, and outcome measure-related data per year. A generalized linear mixed model will allow us to examine the change in participant characteristics associated with time of admission. For Objective 2, a subsample will be identified and stratified into 4 groups. These will be people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Participants will be matched on 3 characteristics, specifically gender, level of amputation, and etiology, to the oldest old age group. We will perform 4 separate one-way analysis of variance in order to compare the data from each outcome measure across age groups. We must understand how the demographic has changed over time of people admitted to prosthetic rehabilitation, because it's important for service delivery. Researchers will be better able to understand the relationship between age and prosthetic rehabilitation outcomes. This will help clinicians establish reasonable prognostic expectations for the oldest old specifically before they actually start rehabilitation. And this is crucial in order to better assist this population through this process in the future. Thank you for listening to my presentation.